means find the angle. Arc and inverse means find the angle. So whenever you see this thing, that means find the angle that has a sine of negative root 3 over 2. Now you also have to understand, of course, that when you're dealing with arc sine, arc cosine, arc tangent, or the inverses, you are restricted on your answers. You're restricted. Negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 for sine and tangent. 0 to pi for cosine. So that's kind of important to know. Look on your unit circle, and there are two angles. And why don't you give it to me in radians, please? But there are two angles that have a sine of negative root 3 over 2. Which angles are they? Joe Nelson.
210 degrees.
Give it to me in radians.
Oh, 5 pi over 3.
5 pi over 3.
And negative,
You're not looking at your unit circle, are you?
negative 5 pi over 6.
No, I'm sorry, that's not correct. Liam.
4 pi over 3.
4 pi over 3 is the other one. How many people saw that on their unit circles?
Or wait, no, it's 7 pi over 6. 7 pi over 6.
Those are right.
Well, that's what yeah.
Shh, 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 shh. First of all, the only answers that you can have are things that are pi over 3. Right? The sine is the y value? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm looking for y values that have root 3 over 2's. Look on your unit circle. Aren't all of those pi over 3 kinds of angles?
Yes.
Thank you, Taylor.
Oh.
Yes or no? Pi over 3's?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm looking for the ones that are negative root 3 over 2's. And that'd be at 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Do you see that?
Yes.
Good. So these are the two answers I should write down, and both are incorrect. Tristan came up with negative pi over 3, which is one correct answer. If they allowed you to say it in degrees, that would be the same as negative 60 degrees. The thing that's important to understand is you can only answer with the restrictions that are applied. Go back and look in the box on the previous slide. When you're talking about sines, the only answers that you can give me are between negative 90 and positive 90. So you would have to give an answer that falls somewhere in that area of the unit circle with that name. The name 5 pi over 3 is the same as the name negative pi over 3, just represented in a different direction. So it is important that you understand with inverse trig, you are required to give your answer in a certain manner. And if you don't, you will not get it correct. It is required. So as I look at the unit circle, I can do one of two things. I can either spin clockwise or counterclockwise. If I spin counterclockwise, I get to 5 pi over 3. If I start out and I spin clockwise, I'm at negative pi over 3. They are the same place. But when you work with inverse trig, you are required to do it in a certain direction. That's what you have to know. Very important.
Oh.
Write yourself a note. Go back, look in the box. All your answers must be from that box. I want to show you up here with the calculator how you do this on your calculator. I personally prefer to be in degrees when I work with inverse trig. So what I would do is I would for sure, me personally, make sure that my mode was degrees to start with. You don't actually have to pull out your calculator. You can just watch. And then all I would do is I would go into my calculator and I would say second sine. That means I have the inverse. You can see the little -1 symbol up there, which indicates the inverse, of the square root of 3. Oh, sorry, was it negative?
Yeah.
Thank you. Negative square root. That would be helpful if I had the right sign on there. Divided by 2. And then what I would see when I hit enter is that my answer is negative 60 degrees. So your calculator knows the answer it has to give. Okay? But if you're in radians, you'll have some kind of decimal, you won't even know what that means. Awesome. Okay, so let's try another one, because it's always helpful to try a few of these babies. Look on your unit circle again. This time we're going to talk about the arc cosine. A negative root 2 over 2 tells me for sure what kinds of angles am I going to be talking about? Joe?
45 degrees. 45.
Radian.
Oh, over 4.
Pi over 4s. So I know my answers have to be pi over 4s. I know that I want the cosine to be negative. I'm looking for an angle, and I'm looking for the pi over 4s that are in quadrant 2 and 3. So normally I would write down something like, oh, the pi over 4 in the second quadrant is 3 pi over 4. And in the third quadrant, it's 5 pi over 4. Are either of those answers acceptable based on the box that we had with the restrictions for arc cosine?
Yes.
No.
Which one?
3 pi over 4.
3 pi over 4 is. So my answer is 3 pi over 4 if I'm answering in radians. The 5 pi over 4 does not meet the restrictions. If I wanted to write this in degrees, I could have written down 135 degrees. I'm not going to keep doing both, but I just want you to understand that on your test, they may tell you, give it to me in radians. They may tell you, give it to me in degrees. If they don't tell you, I don't care. Answer however you want. But if they tell you, make sure you answer that way. Let's just try typing in number 7 on our calculator. Arctangent of 60 degrees. Give it, or arctangent, pardon me, of root 3.
Oh, it's 96.
Shut up. And if you're in degrees, 60 degrees. Well, I would talk to them about, we live in Minnesota, be nice. So if you don't get a nice number, like maybe number 9, say, hey, you know what, we live in Minnesota. Please don't be like that. Number 9, when I type this in my calculator, I get negative 7.18 degrees. Did you guys get that? Yes. I feel good about that. How about number 10? 86.82 degrees. Thank you. When I can't find something on my unit circle, I just type it in my calculator. But if I can find it on my unit circle, I trust myself more with that. So like in number 8, I'm looking for the cosine to be positive 1/2. The cosine is positive 1/2 in the first and the fourth quadrants. And that's a pi over 3 kind of angle. So I know that the angles that I could answer with are pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. And I'm looking to see if either one of those meet my restrictions for the arc cosine. Do either of them meet it? Pi over 3, then I'm done. So I can just write down pi over 3, or if you wanted to, you could write down 60 degrees, that's okay. The 5 pi over 3 does not meet the restrictions based on inverse trig. Besides knowing that inverses, you switch the x and the y, or the domain and the range, what's something else that's important about inverses?
They undo each other.
Woo! They undo each other. Very good, Joe. They undo each other. Look down below. I want the sine of the arc sine of 0.7. I don't want you to blink. Don't Look away. Here's your answer. Done.
Oh my. I didn't see it coming.
Well, you probably blinked.
Can you do that again?
Yeah, I want to do it. So the big idea in 11 and 12 is you don't really have to do anything with your calculator. You see sine and arc sine, they undo each other. The answer is what you started with. And the same for the cosine and the arc cosine. They undo each other. They undo each other. What if it was the arc cotangent? Would they still undo each other? Yes. All right. So